So it very much seems as though the cat has been put amongst the pigeons, or the New Zealander, the Kiwi, has been put amongst the bulls. And that's a terrible analogy. But I think you know what I'm getting at here. Liam Lawson, obviously, in his first full season of Formula One action, will be competing for Red Bull Racing, the meat grinder of the Formula One teams. You know, being that second seat alongside Max Verstappen is a very, very difficult thing. I think Lawson is very talented. I really do think he is. But the guy needs time. Anybody needs time alongside Max Verstappen, especially someone who hasn't even done a full season of Formula One racing. 11 races I think he's done in his career so far, which is just shy of half a season. But apparently, according to Helmut Marko, the man who is the potential distributor of this pressure, of the pressure cooker that is Red Bull, the guy who loves to turn up the heat to 11, he has said there will be no protection for pup Liam Lawson. That doesn't make it sound very good, but he loves doing this, Helmut Marko. He really loves saying these things about people to put them under pressure. He does it with Tsunoda. He does it with Perez. Well, did it with Perez, I should say. Perez is gone now, of course. He'll do it with Hadjar. That's why Hadjar's afraid. Check out that video if you've not seen it already. But let's see. Should Lawson be afraid too? We'll have to see. Let's have a look at this story, though, guys, now, because normally I have an article to read from. I've got the story. I don't have the article. So you won't see anything on the screen. You'll just get a face full of this for a little bit. But I'll read it out as always. Dr. Helmut Marko has set a clear target for Max Verstappen's new teammate in 2025. Red Bull has ousted the underperforming Sergio Perez and replaced him with the rookie Liam Lawson, who completed only parts of the 23 and 24 seasons for the junior outfit Racing Bulls. Team advisor Marko said recently that it is the 22-year-old New Zealander's mental toughness that put him in over the line, with Lawson declaring that Marko's notorious harshness has prepared him well. The phone calls from Helmut at 7 a.m. put him the pressure on, he told The Times. The threat of losing your career at 16 if you don't perform in this next race, that really helped build me for Formula One. Speaking to German magazine Sport Bild, the 81-year-old Marko confirmed that he will provide no protection for the pup in 2025. He may have only driven 11 Grand Prix for the Racing Bulls, said the Austrian, but now he is sitting in a Red Bull. We are not expecting any victories, but he should score points regularly and be closer to Max than Checo was, Marko added. 0.2 to 0.3 seconds per lap would be a satisfactory window. That is, I mean, with how good. I just realised I did that meme with the ooh faces there. But yeah, I mean 0.2 to 0.3 seconds is a decent gap in Formula One, but it's not massive. And for a guy that is coming in his first full season, I mean, I don't know if whether that's qualifying, whether that's the race, whether that's both. Sergio Perez certainly wasn't doing that. Perez was struggling to get within a second during a lot of races. But at the end of the day, you know, Lawson, that is a pressure thing. But I feel like that's a power move by Marko. He's always doing this. And like Lawson said, you know, he's always onto you. He doesn't give you any kind of breaks when it comes to this. It's tough being in that Red Bull car. So, you know, I think he knows to expect these games. Whether these games are ethical or correct, that is a different discussion. I think in a lot of cases, Red Bull do take it a bit too far. That's what Marko's like, though. Love him or loathe him, that is what he's like, and he's not going to go changing. There's a lot of things, but you cannot cheat. You can't teach an old bull new tricks. He's 81 years of age now, so yeah, I think Lawson will do all right. I really do. For me, success for Lawson would be to score points regularly, the odd podium here and there, but it depends on what the Red Bull's like. I think for what it's worth, they got on top of their problems towards the end of the season. They certainly were not as bad as around the midpoint of the season. You know, Monza and places like that, they were absolutely miles off it. I feel like the car has improved to a point where now it can win races, but only in the hands of Max Verstappen. I think it would have to improve a little bit more for Lawson to be able to do that. But you know, one of my regular commenters on here, you know, he's always saying that well, he could be a woman, I don't know, I should say they really these days, especially, you got to be careful these days. But you know, I think they even though like I think like 98% of my audience is male, something like that. The analytics are telling me on YouTube, which is, yeah, that's quite a lot. That's a good percentage. I would like some more women in there, of course, but hey, you know, that'll come in time, I'm sure. But you know, Lawson adapts really quickly to new cars and does really well in that regard. So, and he has had some experience of driving the Red Bull. I'm sure he's done some testing with Red Bull, the senior team before. So, I think he'll be all right. He just needs to not have
Helmut Marko on him constantly, and he'll succeed. I really do think he'll do well. But what do you guys think? Is Lawson going to do well? What would be success for Lawson in 2025? Is that 0.2, 0.3 second gap fair? Is that reasonable? I would say for most teams, most drivers, yes, but this is Max Verstappen we're talking about here. There's not many drivers on the entire grid that are within that gap of him usually during a race weekend, but we'll see what happens. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys, and we'll see you very soon for some more content here on the F1Chronicle.com. If you like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you very soon, guys. Have a good one.